Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Sada Shiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badharayanam Sutrabhashya Kritav Vande Bhagavantav Punah Punah Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Om Partaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Ritavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadhami Bhagavad Gite Bhavatveshini Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutah Stunvanti Devyai Stavaihi Vedai Sangapadkramo Panishadaihi Gayanti Yam Samagah Dhyanavastita Tadgatena Manasa Pashyanti Yam Yogino Yasyantam na vidusura Devaya Tasmai Namaha Devaya Tasmai Namaha Hari. Bhagavan Sri Krishna was thinking. He was thinking, I have presented such a strong case in favor of Karma Yoga and explained very clearly why Arjuna should act and how he should act. I gave several reasons. First, I said it was my commandment. Then I said, even if you do not want to act, nature will force you to act. The actions of worship and actions done that way will liberate you. Whereas actions done otherwise, other than worship, will bind you. Those who do actions only for themselves, without sharing the results with others, without the yajna spirit, spirit of sacrifice, Bhagavan was very harsh, called them thieves, and they only incur sin. on the which is nothing but performing actions as worship, dedication to God, and accepting all the results as prasada from grace and blessings from the Lord. When you act in that way, that karma yoga is a purifier, spiritual purifier, purifies your mind. Then finally, it is that sacrifice, karma yoga bhavana, that if the world is going around, everything in the creation acts that way. Such actions only make the world go round. Evam pravartitam chakram na anuvartayati ihayah aghayurindriyaramah mogham partha sa jivati. If someone does not perform an action that should be done in these ways to have this cycle going on, cycle of giving and taking, such a person who breaks that cycle is living in sin, rejoicing in sense pleasures. His life is in vain. On the other hand, yahatu atmaratirev syat atmatuptasya manavah atmani eva cha santushtah tasya karyam na vidyate. There is nothing to be done for that person who rejoices in the self, being content in the self. For that individual, naiva tasya kritenartah na kriteneha kaschana na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschit artavya pashrayah. For such a person who is living in this spirit of karma yoga, giving more than what he is taking, doing his fair share. You heard that term. Do your fair share. Somebody who does that, there is nothing to be done or anything that should not be done. He does not depend on anything. He doesn't depend on any being. He is self-dependent. So the conclusion was, we had seen this in the last class, tasmat asaktas satatam karyam karma samachara asakto hyacharan karma param apnoti purushah. Therefore, unattached, you work constantly, always, and do it well also. Asaktah, unattached. If you do that, param apnoti, you will gain the highest. Therefore, always perform actions in yoga. So for all these reasons, one must act. So having said so much, you would have expected Arjuna should have been inspired, motivated so much, he would spring into action. Nothing like that happened. Why does he not get up and fight? One was wondering, maybe Arjuna is thinking, I am just making all this up. All the reasons I gave, he's probably thinking, they're all my personal opinion. So I have to give him some real good examples. Some examples that he may be aware of also. That when a man performs actions unattached, he will gain knowledge, attain perfection, and reach the Parama Purushartha. Should give good examples. Otherwise, he may be thinking, he's giving advice, he's experimenting on me. Maybe if it works out, I can be a consultant to other people, advise others. So he may be thinking that way. To allay any such fears and doubts, Bhagavan says, and let us read verse 20. कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्तिता जनकादयः आस्तिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि कर्मणैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्तिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि. So, looking at Arjuna, and he still seemed to be not convinced. He might be wondering if it is possible to get liberation at all. So, Bhagavan says, don't you have any doubts like that? Yes, even a householder staying in the family can follow a life of spirituality and attain moksha. Ordinary folks leading a householder's life, family life, they can also achieve this. Even great rulers can continue to occupy their positions of responsibility of ruling the kingdom, ruling the nation, and still attain liberation. And he has to give a Kshatriya example, because Arjuna is a Kshatriya. Sometimes we say, when sannyasis, Swamijis and all advise us, it's easy for you to say, Swamiji. Everybody is taking care of you. What am I to do? I got to slog, 8, 10, 14 hours a day, 5 days, 6 days a week to put bread on the table. You got it made in the shade, and you are advising us. You come here, be a grahastha. I'll tell you, the wife is pulling in one direction, the children is pulling me in another direction, my neighbor, I tell you. So we have to give appropriate example. If you're talking to your Kshatriya, you have to give Kshatriya examples. So he gives a popular example taken from the Upanishad itself. The example is that of King Janaka. Several examples where kings are the learned people, jnanis. Ajatashatru, the Kshatriya. He teaches a Brahmana. He's a Kshatriya, he's a Jnani, and he is giving this Atma Jnana to a Brahmana. Janaka also appears in Brihadaranyaka several times. They were all engaged householders, Kshatriyas. They could remain in Karma Yoga, purify the mind, become Jnanis. So Arjuna, why should you run away to the forest? So he says, Janakadaya, people like Janaka and others. Samsiddhim astita, they have attained liberation. That samyak siddhi, ultimate goal, they have reached. Karmana eva, remaining in duties, performing their actions without running away from action. They didn't run away from their duties and responsibilities. So it is possible with this example, Bhagavan gives confidence to Arjuna. So with this topic of Karma Yoga is completed. I want to give a warning here. Yes, people can remain as a grihastha and gain moksha. And when we talk like this, people who want to remain in grihastha only never want to go to vanaprastha or sannyasa or veer toward spirituality. Take this as an excuse. They are enjoying their life and they don't want to deviate from that. So many examples are there, I'll be like that. Yes, examples are like that. But are you that example? You want to be a karma yogi. You want to run around here, do this, do that. I want this, I want that. So it is easy to take that as an excuse. Okay? So you have to understand this properly. You have to have the spiritual goal in mind. That is the goal that I am seeking. For whatever reason, I am in this grihastha ashrama. So I will do my duties and responsibilities with karma yoga bhavana. Then the progress can be made. If you use this as an excuse, you will be stuck there only. I hear a lot of people. Whenever we talk about this, I can do that. So many people have done. Okay. If you are like those exemplary people, yes. If not, Shankaracharya, I tell you, when you read his commentaries and most of his composition, he is such a strong proponent of sannyasa. He says, take sannyasa right here and now. So that is his approach. Because he knows, give people a little bit of leeway, they will never get out of grihastha. So I just wanted to bring that up. Keep that in mind. Don't make that an excuse to be stuck in this. If you are able to do it, devote your time to spirituality, and that's the goal, that's the only goal, that is fine. You can do it. But here, the context is a little bit different. Arjuna was wanting to shirk his responsibilities, run away. He was an escapist. And that's why Bhagavan is impressing upon him, you can stay doing your duty with the Karma Yoga Bhavana and still attain the same goal as a sannyasi would, giving everything up. So the point that is being made is different. So be very clear in your understanding. Okay. It was said Karma Yoga is important for purification and later for attaining knowledge. Once a person has become a jnani, then he is free. At which time, Karma Yoga is not necessary anymore. Means is a must until the end is accomplished. So for a jnani, Karma Yoga is not required. So he can perform actions or may not perform actions. Naiva tasya kritena artah na akritena iha kasyana. Na chasya sarva bhuteshu kaschitartavya pashraya, it was said. Jnani need not do karma. Be careful, it is not said jnani should not do karma. It's not said like that. He may do or he may not do. He may sit in a place like Ramana Maharshi or Tapon Maharaj. Okay. Didn't look like they were doing a whole lot. But on the other hand, Shankaracharya, Vivekananda, our own Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmaya, they were very active. All jnanis. So there are some jnanis who don't go here and there teaching and preaching. Whoever came to them, they taught. So jnanis come in different shapes and forms. Now it is possible that Arjuna can claim that he is a jnani and try to escape from action. That's precisely what he was trying to do. There's no way to check. How can you check whether I am a jnani or not? There is no test, no blood test you can do. They are doing all kinds of experiments, hooking up people's brain activity. Now go into meditation. I want to figure out how what the brain function, how it functions. And there are a lot of scientific papers published like that also. But it's very difficult to check. There are no external indicators. Jnana being within, nothing will be physically visible. We have no way to know when somebody is a jnani, who is a jnani, no way to find out. So Arjuna can claim, I'm a jnani, I don't need any purifications, I can stop further action, go to the forest, beg for food, all that he already said in the first chapter. So expecting this from Arjuna, and Arjuna also repeated the same arguments over and over again, if you remember in the first chapter. So Krishna was expecting he may start all over again. So he answers the following portion. Even if you are a jnani, you have to continue your duties. Why? You do not do karma for your sake. A jnani does not have to, he is not performing any action, he is not going to gain anything. That is all true. For his own personal benefit, he is not doing any action, but you have to do it for the benefit of the society. So in the second line we see, Loka Sangraham eva api sampashyan kartum arhasi. Loka Sangraha, for the sake of well-being of the society, for the welfare of the society, for the upliftment of the society, a jnani should continue to work. Loka Sangraha is a technical word. It literally means lokasya sangraha, collection of people. But the deeper meaning is, see, in the society, there are people who lose track in their lives. A train is there, and sometimes accidents happen, it jumps off the track, derailed. When that happens, it has to be put back on track. The railway repairmen do all that. In the same way, some people in the society go astray sometimes. They have taken to adharmic ways, unrighteous way of living. You cannot let them go like that. They need to be brought back to dharma. From the adharmic ways, they need to be brought back to dharmic ways of living. They should be persuaded to come back to the right way of living. This is called Loka Sangraha. Okay, it's a technical meaning. How do those people know what is dharma and what is adharma? They're already in trouble. Not knowing only they have gone astray. How would they know? they need some role models. It's an important principle in our tradition. We say that there are three sources of knowledge to find out what is the right way of living. If we do not know what is the dharmic way of life, we will be leading a life of whims and fancies. Just do whatever you feel like doing in the name of freedom. Such a life becomes a licentious life. Such a raga-dvesha driven life, just guided by likes and dislikes. That you will see in a prakrita purusha. Prakrita purusha, unrefined, uncultured. Such a person is called prakrita. But dharma, adharma based life. This is dharma, I should do it. This is adharma, I should not do that. Knowing all that and following that. That is a Samskrita life. Samskrita means purified, refined, cultured, civilized way of living. I should not do whatever I feel like doing. I should do what is proper, what is right. Propriety is very important. Then I should naturally know what is proper. I should know what is improper so that I don't do it. What is the source? How do I know what is dharma and adharma? Dharma is the subject matter discussed in the Purva Mimamsa. You know, Vedas are divided into two, divided different criteria. One way of dividing is Purva Mimamsa and Uttara Mimamsa. The earlier portions of the Vedas are called Purva Mimamsa. Uttara Mimamsa, latter portion. Latter portions is also called Veda Anta, Vedanta. That is the Jnana portion. So, if you want to simply answer the question, what does Veda teach you? There are only two topics covered in the Vedas. The subject matter of Vedas. One is Dharma and number two is Brahma. Dharma and Brahma are the two topics that are covered in the Vedas. The Dharma aspects of it is covered in the Purva Mimamsa, the earlier portion, the Karma Kanda. And then in the Uttara Mimamsa, or the Jnana Kanda, talks about Brahma. These are the only two topics. That's it. And the Vedas are the primary sources of Dharma, Adharma, Jnana. What is right? What is wrong? You cannot know through human. So we go to the scriptures, to the Vedas for that knowledge. Shruti, Vedas are not human compositions. They are divine revelations. Society tells you what to do and what not to do. They make laws and they do this, they do that. All that is there. Now, I'm not saying they are not there, but then what is right in one country is not right in another country. So those are man-made laws. There is some reason, not that they are wrong or anything. And when you are in one country, you have to abide by that constitution. All that is there, but all said and done, all those are, and whenever people say you should be doing this, you should not be doing that, it may be their own personal thinking. And whenever people come with their own, they are really opinions. Okay. They have some limitations. They suffer from limitations of human intellect. If it is a human composition, it's a product of human intellect, and it has its own limitations. But Shruti, the Vedas, No human has composed that. It is divine. It's a divine revelation to our rishis, and they have shared those with us. So it is not subjective. It is not colored by human, their own vasanas, their own thinking, etc. So divine revelations come through the Vedas. So they don't have this problem. Shruti is the first. The second source is Smriti. Smriti includes all secondary literature that are based on the Vedas. Smritis are human composition. They are composed by, for example, Itihasas, Puranas, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata, which is an Itihasa composed by Veda Vyasa. But still, these are Smriti is composed by Rishi Munis who had a highly purified mind, and whatever is said in the Smriti will not be contrary to Shruti. And we've said Gita is what? Is the essence of Upanishads. So it is not an opinion about Shruti, not like that. Whatever is said, it is reinterpreted. It is interpreted for easier understanding. That is where Puranas come into play. Itihasas are also that way. And it is done by informed people, intelligent people, pure-minded people like Veda Vyasji, for the welfare of the society. So Taittiriya Upanishad says, Ye tatra brahmana sammarshinaha yukta ayuktaha aloksha dharma kamasyuhu yata te tattavatteran tata tatra vartetah. How beautiful our scriptures. They are so flexible and anticipating future needs also. They have given freedom to later generations to interpret according to times. Suitable time guidelines are given. So Smriti is belong to that category. There's also Manusmriti. So like there are a lot of Smritis, Granthas are there. That's the second source. The third source is Shishta Acharaha. Shishta Acharaha. Way of life led by responsible members of the society. Elders, cultured people, learned people. They are called Shishta. They have been defined, they have been directed by their elders. Followed such a way of life. They can serve as role models for them. That is another source. Of these three sources of knowledge, which is the most powerful? Actually, to think about it, the third one, the role models in the society is most powerful. Because Shruti and Smriti are in written form. They are cold words. They have to be read, they have to be studied, they have to be understood, and then followed. Only audio effect is there. I don't see Rama or Vibhishana. They've been talked about in Ramayana. But the role models in our society, people living in this society, they can give both audio, visual effect, audio as well as visual effect. Very powerful. There was big impact in the society. People contemporarily living. Then that role model is very influential. We have a lot of influencers these days, but all for the wrong reasons. Okay. But we need this type of influencers. That's what we need. It's very powerful, very important. So Bhagwan emphasizes here Shishta Acharah, otherwise called Shreshta Acharah. Shreshta means superior ones, exemplary ones. Then the next question is, who are Shishta or Shreshta? Who are role models? For a little child, the best role model is the mother, especially in the formative years. Mother's influence is maximum. The second role model is father. Parents are the best role models as the child is growing up. Then the next model is the guru. So in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is beautifully said that a person grows into a mature human being if he has gone through three ideal relationships. Three ideal relationships. One is Matru Sambandha, second is Pitru Sambandha, and the third is Acharya Sambandha. We all know how important it is. All three. Lot of problems in today's society, today's culture, single parent homes, tough. So a child growing in a stable family with a father, mother, etc. Very different. And then you have to be well educated, it's secular as well as spiritually. So Acharya Sambandha. And the fourth role model is the ruler of the country. In those days, kings were the examples. Today, the role models, unfortunately, are movie stars, sports celebrities. Why are you wearing your cap with that visor at the back? Because that is what that fellow does. But the visor has to be here so that it gives some protection to your eyes and it's a shade. No. He is wearing it that way. And some other fellow wear it sideways. So I follow. He's wearing baggy pants, oversized shirts. So I wear the same thing. These are the role models. What to do? But the observation that we can make is such people have a tremendous influence on people and their behavior. So, a jnani has that responsibility. That's the point here. So, Bhagwan is making Arjuna, whether you like it or not, you are an important leader in this society. You are a role model. So, whatever you do, the society will follow. So, you must set an exemplary example. People have a tendency to very quickly copy bad behavior of leaders. Durvasa and Vishwamitra are great rishis. People may not follow their great virtues. They cite example of Durvasa. When they get angry, Durvasa had a short fuse. Short-tempered rishi. People around him were always walking on eggshells. We don't know when he will be displaced, and boom, he'll throw a curse on them. Very short-tempered. So people only look at that to cover up their short temper. But Durvasa was also a great Muni. Vishwamitra, again, a great Rishi. All that they forget. He went chasing after Menaka. So that is what I will follow. I will do what I can. No, no. Vishwamitra is a revealer of Gayatri Mantra. Did you know that? Why don't you take your inspiration from that? Our Puja Gurudev, a great Swami. He did so many great things. You should follow Swami Chinmaya. No, no, no. He's a great man. I cannot follow all that he did. I will follow what I can. No, he had the habit of inhaling this snuff. You don't see that people too much. So he still had that for whatever reason. He was a smoker, he quit smoking, but still. So I can follow that. No. So this is what people do. So as a leader, you have a great responsibility. So in these verses, Bhagwan is going to emphasize this Shreshta Achara, the need for us to reach out to people and be the role models. Very nice verse 21. यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तद्ददेवेतरो जनः तद्ददेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते यद्यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत्प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते. These are very important, very useful verses that we should know and follow. Shrestha yad yad acharati. Yad yad, whatever. Shrestha Purusha, a great person, a noble person, a role model does. As I said, for a role model, parents are, for a child, parents are role models. For the citizens of the nation, the leader of the nation is a role model. So, whatever such people in those positions do, ita tad eva acharati. The other people follow the lead. If you do noble things at home, the children will follow in their lives. Even the words that you use, immediately the child picks up. We think that the kids bring curse words from school. No. They pick it up at home also. So you should be careful. Every word that I use, every action I do when I'm raising a child. If the father lights up the lamp and prays first thing in the morning, the child will do the same. If instead the father lights up a cigarette, child will follow that. When the child, 7 or 8-year-old, he will take the pencil in hand and act as if he's smoking. And when he turns 14, 15, 16, when he's outside the home with his peer group, that is how people pick up smoking. The first puff of smoke you take, it's not that pleasant. And those of you who've tried, same thing. First alcohol drink, not very tasty, you know. But seen that happening at home, so there has to be something. So all bad habits picked up. Very important. Whatever is done by a role model, the rest will follow. Therefore, sahayat pramanam kurute, whatever a Shrestha Purusha sets as an example, as a pramanam standard, lokaha tad anuvartate. People follow that only. Arjuna said, Bhagavan, accepted. Whatever a Shrestha Purusha does, other people follow. I agree. No question about it. But where did you get the idea that I am a Shrestha Purusha? Bhagavan replied, Arjuna, I tell you, whether you like it or not, whether you accept it or not, you are looked upon very highly and held in high esteem by a number of people. I already told you in the second chapter, Arjuna, in verse 35, Yesham chatvam bahumatah bhutva yasyasi laghavam. You are held in high esteem. If you run away from this battle, they will belittle you. Arjuna, you understand that you are a leader. You are a great person. Understand that and be one. Your action should be a standard set for the society to follow. Arjuna gave up, but still seemed to be asking, Oh Bhagavan, why do you not start yourself? Why don't you be the role model? Bhagavan gives the answer in the next verse. न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यम् त्रिषु लोकेषु किञ्चन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यम् वर्त एव च कर्मणि. Not only parents and teachers are role models for children, a healthy society will have many heroes that can serve as examples to children and to others as well. In the Puranas and Itihasas, we see so many ideal examples. Anjaneya is a hero to all children. He does so many heroic things. Not only an action hero, he was a noble treasure house of noble qualities. Those qualities are taught to children and for adults. They serve as an illustrious example. Ideal role models are presented throughout the scriptures. Elders in every society should act as role models. Arjuna, you are held in such a high esteem in society. You have a great responsibility. You have to act that in that context. You cannot run away from the battle. Look at me. Bhagavan gives his own example. Arjuna, I am an avatara. I am greater than even a jnani. Jnani was a samsari before, later he became liberated and all that. As an avatara, when Bhagavan comes down, he has not become an ajnani, he is ever a jnani only. And we will talk about avatara siddhanta in the 4th chapter. Even though I am an avatara, I have now become your driver, working for you. As a driver, I have to follow your orders, follow the duties and responsibilities of the driver. I have to wash that horse, the chariot, and all the chores I have to do. I cannot say, I am the ruler of the world, these tasks are beneath me. I had some unpleasant tasks I had to do. I had to kill my own uncle. So Bhagavan quotes himself as an example. Hey Partha, Arjuna, Trishu Lokeshu me kartavyam kinchana nasti. I need not perform anything to purify my mind, because as the Lord, as a jnani, I am ever pure. Through any actions, I have nothing to accomplish. Trishu Lokeshu, in the three worlds. Na anavaptam avaptavyam. There is nothing to gain that is not already gained for me. I have no purushartha to accomplish. All the four purusharthas are part of me. My name itself is Bhagavan. Bhagavan means one who has Bhaga. Bhaga means sixfold wealth. The sixfold wealth are Aishwarya, power, overlordship, Virya, valor, Yasha, fame, Shrihi, prosperity, Jnana, wisdom, and Vairagya, dispassion. All the sixfold wealth are in Bhagavan, one who has all the six in complete measure, Samagrasya in full measure. That is Bhagavan. We may have a little power here and there, a little bit of wealth, small fortune. That does not make us Bhagavan. Bhagavan's fortune is absolute. When he has all that, what is there for him to accomplish? Nothing. Na anavaptam avaptyam asti. Nothing to be accomplished by me that has not been accomplished already. Look at me. What they keep on doing, whatever I have to do. When I myself cannot stop, escape from my duty, and I don't do that also, I'm not running away. So do what you have to do. Get up, pick up your weapons and fight. This is your duty. Just do it. And doing this with karma yoga attitude will prepare you for the knowledge that you and everyone should seek. Don't try to escape with the excuse, I'm going to get that knowledge. You will not get it. Your suffering and sorrow will not end that way. You will continue to be in samsara only. So do the right thing. Act. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.